Looking forward to continuing off of the last couple of seasons where we really picked up the profits, picked up some process, and we're going to continue to improve on that. This year, we've added, the contest simulations, which is if for no other reason to keep up with the rest of the population who's using them. But it seems to apply very, very nicely to hockey because it helps find good stacks and correlation and things like that. And that's always was the problem last year. It's not the problem, but it was kind of intriguing, is that what you ended up building by hand didn't always translate to what SaberSim or the lineup builders would make for you. And so what I ended up having to do, which is fine, I had basically a hand-built lineup for my big buy-ins, and then SaberSim built the other ones. I think I'm still going to do that until I see what types of lineups the contest sims approach is getting me as far as my big buy-ins. It's also, I still think it's kind of good to go through, specifically with hockey, very primitive way of looking at things. So we're going to do that. And again, I'm sorry, I'm usually early. I apologize for that. So again, we're going to do we're going to do it every time that we do these reviews. We're going to do it the same way until further notice. We're going to look at the sheets. Then we're going to try to, hand build based on what we see. And then we're going to have SaberSim do its thing. So tonight, even though there are only 3 games, I'm going to play 40 lineups in this thing. It's pretty, you don't really need to. But I'm just doing it to get fired up. Usually only play 20 or 30 in these 3-game slates. I'll play 40 this year in the main slates. I was doing 30 all the last year. I was doing really well. So I think, I've proven good enough EV where I can increase my lineups a little bit. So I'm going to go up to 40 this year. All right. Let's pull up the sheets, which again, I just did update. But again, this is not, doesn't have the late line changes and things like that. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to improve upon that this year. I don't know if I'm going to be able to be around for those late lineup changes in time to redo all my projections. But that's just is what it is, I guess. So the first thing I like to do is just kind of look at this, just like this. So these are the sheets, and I just kind of step back, take the 100,000 foot view. And on a 3-game slate, it's easy, really. It's actually pretty easy on a big slate as well. But the first thing that what you want to do is you want to just see, you want to find guys rated near the top that are on the same team, all right? When I say near the top, remember, we're ranking these by Sheets value score, okay? Which is a combination of fantasy points, points per dollar, things like that. It's my own little formula, okay? And if you find guys from the same team that are up near the top, that's a good thing because hockey correlates really well. Now, if you also find guys near the top that are on the same line, that's even better. And you'll see that, I do put the even strength lines and power play lines here. Now, the good thing is the way I play, I usually play a lot of guys on the first lines. I feel as though I can get to them without as much stress as people will have you believe. But nonetheless, that's what you're looking for. So the first thing is to look for is, all right, so I do see the top 2 guys are from Tampa. All right? Very easy to see. And then I also see the 3rd guy from Tampa is also here in the top 10. So you have 2 Tampas, 3 Tampas in the top 8. They're all on the same line. Okay, so that seems to make a lot of sense. Next thing that I see are, we'll get back to the Nashville one-off in a minute, but I see 2 Pittsburgh guys near the top. And they're both centers, which always leads you to believe that they're from different lines, but they might be on the same power play line. That's exactly the case. Malkin's listed on the second even strength line, but they're both on the same power play line, which is pretty much good enough. And then you look down, you see the other Pittsburgh guy, Rust, who's on the first even strength line and the second power play line. So not ideal, but still pretty good. And then Eric Carlson second even strength line, and first power play line. So those are the first 2 teams that of the 6 that are eligible, right? That you probably want to try to get to. Okay, the Tampa or the Pittsburgh. Next thing I look for are these kind of random one-offs, like Josie, a one-off at 7,800. Doesn't really intrigue me that much. Then I look for cheap one-offs, and that here's something that's worth mentioning is that Burakovsky at 3,900. All right, so he's probably going to be a decent one-off to put in my lineups. But before I even do anything, I'd like to see if you can also put him in a little stack. So I want to see if there's any Seattles near here. McCann is top, not the top play, but he's up there, and he's on the power play line with him. So this could be a good 3-man or even a 2-man. And then you scroll down to Bjorkstrand, who's cheap, but he's on the second power play line.
They should be available on SaberSim in a few minutes.
I appreciate that. So doesn't look like Seattle's much of a stack, but as far as one-offs go, this makes sense. So what I'd like to do is I want to build a lineup. Before I do that, the one thing, again, I'm getting used to this game. What you like to look for also is your cheapest goalie that has a good projection. And fortunately, Saros is not only the guy that's got the best, Sheets value score, but is also, I think, the cheapest. So almost definitely he would want to be in the lineup. However, Nashville's playing Tampa. So what do? Well, you have to make a choice. Either play Saros with Pittsburgh guys, right? Or play somebody else with Tampa. And the somebody else, I guess, would be, I guess, Jerry, right? Or Aiden Hill or something like that. So one way to distinguish them is to see like the ownership on some of these other teams. So, like for example, you think that Tampa and Pittsburgh are going to be pretty highly owned because they rate really well. So if you are going to play Tampa with the Saros goalie, if you are going to play Pittsburgh, if you're going to play Tampa and you can't play Saros, maybe play the Chicago goalie because at least you get leverage against Pittsburgh. So let's just see what he looks like. I don't even have him listed yet. I don't even know who's confirmed as the goalie yet. So I have Johansson, the goalie for Tampa. I think that's right. So wait, so who's playing goalie for Chicago? It would be Mrazek, and that's cheap too. So that's probably would be my 2 different lineup constructions. I would play Saros with Pittsburgh guys, and Tampa guys with Mrazek. So let's see what those lineups look like when we try to build by hand here. Let's first put the Saros in and play the Pittsburgh guys and see how many of these you can really get in. So let's just try to get them all. Pittsburgh, him. Who was it? Rust was the other one. Let's actually put both these centers in where we can. So who's it? Malkin, Crosby, Rust, and who was the other one from Pittsburgh we wanted to play? Resort by Sheets value score. So Malkin, Crosby, Rust, and Carlson at 7,100. Or I could play Raquel, right? So let's play the full power play line first. We'll worry about the defense in a minute. Let's just see if we could play them all, like for example. So defense, play, who's it, Carlson? And then let's just say that we want to try to play, who is it, Ratang or Raquel? So you can tell this is going to be tough, okay? But if you start with this, then you can start filling in your kind of one-offs that we talked about before. So you play Burakovsky at 3,900. Now, we're not exactly there yet. We're probably not going to get all of this, but we can get some of it. And then, again, we can get that other guy from Seattle as well, that Bjorkstrand at wing. So we can't quite get there, but if we could just sacrifice, whatchamacallit, Carlson, then we can get to these pretty easy. So we can play Malkin, Crosby, Rust, Raquel, Saros, and then, let's just see, just for the hell of it, who the Seattle defenseman is. And then we have something here, actually. So let's see. Seattle defense, and can't be too greedy. I mean, it'd be nice if you had a good projection also, but can't be too greedy. Oh, my God. So Vince Dunn is 4,600. That's a little more expensive than I kind of would want. But let's just see. Vince Dunn, 4,600. Adam Larson, 4,700. Justin Schultz, who is on the #1 power play line, he's 3,300. So let's just say, for example, if you played Dunn, you would need a $3,700 punt to make this 4-3 work. And you could certainly do that. Like, for example, I mean, I'm not necessarily doing this, but I would just literally just search by Sheets value score, find the best $3,700 I could find. Donato, maybe. He's against Pittsburgh. We can't do that. What do you mean, 3,700? Is that what we said? It looks like we're running out of. Oh, here's a 3,700. So Reichel, he's against Pittsburgh. That's fine. But we need a defenseman, right? So what's Bjorkstrand? He's a wing. Let's just see. I just want to prove we can do this, and then let's look at these defensemen. 6,400, 6,000, 5,400, 5,500. I mean, most defensemen are like this. You play a Haig at 2,700, like if you wanted. And then you leave money on the table. So just for example, you play Haig. Haig, 2,700. Leave 1,000 on the table, and you could do that. Right? That's one thing to do. Let's sign this for now. We'll put them in all. All right. Let's try the other one though. Let's try the Tampa one and see if we can get away with that. It's going to be harder, but let's just see. That's going to be right. It's going to be Kucherov, Stamkos, and then who's it? Point was the other one. Point, and then who else? Was there even a fourth? Yeah, there's only 3 anyway. So it looks as though Tampa's not going to get there. Look at Hedman. He's at 6K. How are you going to play all these guys? Played Point, and you play Hedman. I mean, like you're already. Who did I say we're going to play? The Chicago goalie? Who did I say the Chicago goalie was? I forget. Let's see, Chicago goalie would be. Oh, where is it? And can we even do this? 7K. I mean, oh, it's okay. So let's say you did that, and then now you went back to your Seattle. I mean, you could do this, right? Go back and play the same guy. Play this dude. We're running out of good options though, and then Bjorkstrand again. We're running out of salary really quickly here with this. 2,750. So you need 2 like really, really sick punts. I mean, you could do this though. Like what you would do if you really wanted to play this is just literally just, look at the centers and search for any. You'd actually probably have to sort by points per dollar. Like Lars Eller for Pittsburgh. But we're playing the Chicago goalie, which is annoying. You could play this dude, Pay Cal. I'd like a guy that's on a power play or something. But it's hard. This one. This correlates a little bit. Foligno. Do I know these people? I have no idea who these people are. You know any of these guys? Who watches hockey? No, I actually hockey is a really good sweat, actually. I can't watch until the third period. So then you play Foligno or whatever. I don't know any of the basketball players I play either. So I know the CEOs of all the companies I invest in. So who was the center that was going to play? Not for Chicago. It was, yeah, it was going to be for Chicago. Do I have the wrong position? That would be very unfortunate. Oh, Reichel. No, that's just too expensive. So, yeah, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to play the Tampas. I mean, you could, but this is going to be one where SaberSim is going to try to help you with this. So let's do that. Let's pull up SaberSim. I've already put the projections in. I already put the contest sims in. And by the way, there is no better sweat than the third period hockey sweat. Whether you're anti-sweating or sweating, it's awesome. And then when they pull the goaltender, then it's literally the best. Whether you're anti-sweating or sweating, there's nothing better. All right. A lot better than freaking baseball, when you're like, looking at one batter or something. Actually, baseball sweats are cool when you know exactly what you're rooting for. Basketball sweats are kind of weird. All right. Anyway, let's build here. I already updated everything, so let's build. What did I say? 40 lineups. That's what we said. 40 lineups. Let's just see see how we roll. Yeah, I was trying to do a stack with Brian Trottier and Mike Bossy and John Tonelli, but I tried to get Dennis Potvin in defense and correlate him with Billy Smith, and it just ended up being too expensive. Well, imagine what like Gretzky would be in DFS. Well, there is somebody like that. I mean, McDavid is sort of like he's priced like Gretzky would be if he played, I guess. I asked people that play baseball. I wonder what Barry Bonds was when he played. If he had DFS back then. All right, so this is what it is, right? So this is what they had. It's pretty funny. So the first lineup before we screwed around with it were these 3 Tampas that we had trouble getting in, and they said, "Oh, no problem. We'll just play those." Remember the cheapo that we considered playing, the Justin Schultz, instead of the Dunn? Well, it said no problem. We'll put him in, and then we'll punt with one of these Tampa guys, which is actually kind of interesting. I didn't see the Perbix in there, so that's what it would get to. But again, this is just like straight up, builds without assigning a contest to it. So let's see if so let's see what we do here. Contest sims. Let's run these. But see, that's the thing. The Seattle value is going to be, I think, the key to get all this stuff in. Like the guys like the Burakovsky and the Justin Schultz. Watching the NBA yesterday. I don't know these new guys. This new guy on San Antonio. This big dude. Supposedly he's really good. All right, so let's see. Let's look at the MME builds. RAR. And look at this. This is what I'm talking about. See, little sheets builds by hand and just stares at the sheets. He gets all these other teams, but you have SaberSim kind of run its sims model, and you get all Vancouver. Look at me, all the Vegas. Gotta love it. That's awesome. That's what I love to see. So let's make it a min unique too, and let's just see what we get here. So first of all, it's stack exposure. Look at these. Oh my God! Look at these onslaughts. They're giving us 6-man stacks. Oh, SaberSim has really just beefed up its game over this off season. Remember, I used to complain last year that we get all these 4-2s and 3-2s and whatever. It is going right for the throat with these 6-mans. And then like 70% Vegas. And you know what's awesome about it? It's the late hammer. Like the slate starts at 5:30, and you have like 9 hours before your guys have any impact on your lineups. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. You just sit there all night. Oh, I know I'm losing, but who cares? and basically just anti-sweat like all, if it's like Nashville, Tampa, 0-0 end of one, you're like, let's go, and then the real hockey torture comes when you get what you want. Both of the first two games go short, and then you can't get anything happening in your late one. But check this out. Vegas and Seattle all over the place. Just bam. I love it. As a matter of fact, and I might change this a little later once the goalies come out. I am totally down with using these as my whatchamacallit, as my MMEs. Now I have to see what happens if I upload these just like this. I want to see if it saved that big buy-in I had. Or it replaced it. Let me just see something. Wait, this is the top shelf. I just want to make sure that I think it got rid of that one. So I'm gonna actually. I think I am going to go with that one that I said, just on principle. Right? How can I not play it? If it comes in and I don't have it, so let's just see what it was again. See if we can remember it by heart. Raquel, right? Say goodnight, Raquel. And then, who was the Seattle guy over there? Who was it? Schwartz? No, we had Bjorkstrand. And we had Burakovsky. And we had actually, I want to put that in the utility if I can, but I don't know if I can get away with it. Burakovsky, and then who did I say? I have to go back to was it Dunn? Or I couldn't afford him. Was that the story? But I was definitely playing Saros, presuming he starts. And then I forgot who the defenseman that I was playing. I think there's some clown from Chicago. But I forget now. Oh, it was a Pittsburgh guy, right? Yeah, okay. We were able to get in. Oh, we were not able to get in Carlson, right? We had to play. Oh, we played Rust at wing. And then we got a defenseman here, and we left money on the table, right? Is that the story? Okay. Oh, we'll just play Schultz. We'll just do this. Oh, can't beat that. Can you even do this? Is it even allowed? No, because you have to get guys from more than two teams. You'll see what happens. Oh, man, annoying, right? So we have to figure out which of these guys to toss. Let's kick Dunn out because I remember there's some decent guys we could play here. You can always change this later, right? Actually, no, we'll put Dunn back in. Burakovsky, Dunn. Put someone from Vancouver in, and then we'll change that later. Oh, Haig, that was the guy, right? So we played Haig, and then we played Dunn. See, I remember my players. I left 1,000 on the table. Beautiful. So that's pretty much the deal with hockey. We're going to keep on trying this, and again, watch for the goalie switches and watch for the line movements and stuff like that. Now that what's his name is here, Eric's here, I have to kind of show you this again. Oh, we went through this already. The photo pics from the guys I used to back. We did that at the in the Berkey thing. We'll do that another time. You guys want to see something funny? One more poker thing since Efro is here. Okay, so this is interesting. Okay, so you know what this is? This is, ready for this? I believe the very first GTO solver. It wasn't even like I did this like literally on a crayon, and I coded all this like to analyze whether raise, fall, raise, call, or open shove, and you put things in here and certain assumptions. Very first one, and then the reshove analysis, reshoving an open razor. It's the original RTA, even though this wasn't even RTA yet. I actually put this stuff in. And then this was the chop calculator I created, where you could calculate both chip equity and ICM equity at the same time. Yep. Shove page? Which one? Oh, just the old push charts? Oh, look at that one. You like that? Optimal push for it based on M, which people forgot what that was. At every position. 10M, 9M, 8M, 7M, 6M, 5M, 4M, 3M. Right there. You like that? Gotta love that. Feel free, guys. This is all you can go on here all you want. And then, well, those are the old ones. The old call charts. Good luck reading this. But these were the game theory optimal push. So this was like the dynamic one. So you had M of 4, and the hero was on the cutoff. This was your range. And if you were, if you were the hero in the big blind and the villain shoved from here, this was your range. Oh, your shove page, Evan. Oh, Evan, you're there. Your shove page. Listen to you. So, yeah. So this is still around, and then here are all the pictures of all the champions. Your old hand. There's no way that this is still. These are still there. Online schedule. How about this? Went the Poker Star Supernova free roll Saturday at 2 p.m. Is this still there? The PCA Super, the UB 120 deep stack, is that still available? Can you still go on there? The UB 120 Sniper at 9 p.m. How about that? There you go. Anyway, all right. Good luck today in the hockey. I have to actually an earnings call I have to go on, and